Oh, G Funky Boxing. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Being joined by my co-host here, 97 Ruff. How's it going, bro?
Going good, bro. Going good. Just rushed home to get on here so I could chop it up with you and Andy. So
That's
I'm
right,
glad I'm
man.
here,
So
man.
let's bring him on, guys. I want to introduce a special guest today. Fighting June 24th, San Francisco Cow Palace. My man, Andy El Tiburon Vences. What's going on, man?
How's it going? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Glad you're here, man.
Yeah, thank you.
No sweat, man. So my man here is from San Jose too, so I'm sure you guys are gonna have some things here in common, you know.
Puro San Ho, vato. Puro San Ho. Not San
Oh
Jose.
yeah.
Okay? San Ho. And then my,
That's
my
right.
homeboy here, I just realized homeboy's a Lion. He's a Lincoln, like me. We're
Oh, are
both from
you?
Lincoln. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was born and raised in downtown San Ho. And so when I saw that, because I wasn't sure, I thought for sure you were a Bulldog in San Ho. And I can't get on that man with him and stuff if he's a Bulldog. But then I saw, oh, he's Lincoln. He's a Lincoln alumni. So, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I actually lived my whole life. I've lived on the south side of San Jose, but my mom
Oh,
wanted me to go all the way to Lincoln just to stay away from all my close friends and stay out of trouble. So I took the
órale.
bus across the street like at 6:30, and then it used to take us to Lincoln. But I hated Lincoln because it was so far. I was like,
Right.
why do I got to do that? But she
And,
had a
and
reason. She had a reason, and I'm glad, you know.
that's crazy because see, my whole family, generation after generation, went to Lincoln High School. And that was that was the school I was supposed to go to because I lived in downtown. But then this whole segregation hit, and they were sending all the kids from downtown, half of the kids, to the south side. So I ended up going to Gunderson in my last couple of years.
Yeah, I wanted to go there.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I wanted to go there. I wanted to go to Gunderson or Santa Teresa, but my mom already knew that I was always like pulling all these chicks. So she's like, "Nah, you're not gonna walk home. I'm gonna send you hella far." Like, cause my mom knew how I was. Like, even in
Yeah.
middle school, like she knew how I was. So she just didn't want me being in the perimeter, like to bring anyone, you know.
Yeah. See, and I hated Gunderson because it was so far. We had to get up early to get on the bus because they meet up at Lincoln, and they sent everybody down, and that way. But then ended up having a great experience because at the time when I was going to Gunderson, the 87 freeway wasn't up; they were barely building it, and Oak Ridge Mall was like only two buildings, and that's what everybody used to meet and fight if you
Yep,
had beef with
yep,
somebody and stuff.
yeah. That's
Oh, this is
awesome.
great. This is great stuff, man. So Andy, let's do a little business here real quick, man. You got a
Hey, you know
fight
what?
coming up.
I actually nah, just to bring that up about Oak Ridge Mall. I don't know if you've seen that fight I
You had to
uploaded
find,
on.
yeah, you were working at Subway. I read about
Yeah.
that, bro.
Oh
I
man.
seen that video on your channel, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Oak Ridge was the spot. It was the
it was.
spot.
It's like the Rose Garden was the spot for Lincoln, folks and stuff. Everybody go to the Rose Garden, or they used to go to the other park downtown by San Jose Hospital at the Roosevelt Park and fight there.
Oh, yep, yep. That's funny.
So Andy, let's like I said, let's take care of some business, man. You got a fight coming up June 24th. That's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Let us know all the details, brother, real quickly while the fans are here watching.
Yeah. So it's gonna be June 24th at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. Seems like a good card, good local card, small card, nothing too crazy. Um, I believe I'm the only 8 rounder on the card, so I'm not sure where I'll be positioned on the card, but people could expect me back, expect me to actually fight some rounds due to everything that happened my last fight. I'm very eager and anxious to get in there and get this ring rust off. Yeah, because I haven't gotten any boxing rounds since my last loss in September. I'm definitely looking to turn things around, um, and go this last run the right way with my coach, Angel Cordon, who's really played a big impact in my life. I walked away from him at a time where I was just confused. I was assuming, that he didn't want to train me no more after we lost the Venado fight. I took off. I went off and seeked a trainer who it was probably the it was probably the wrong turn that I made in my career, but I believe everything happens for a reason. Um, I don't know how me and Angel kind of circled back with each other. We were kind of in talks, and he lives 2 hours away driving wise. So um, I was like, hey, you know what? If I'm gonna restart my career, I'm gonna do it with the guy who knows me best, the man who knows me best as far as what I can and cannot do. So I committed to it, and yeah, I've been driving 2 hours to see him, 2 hours back. So a lot of my time is on the road, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice to just restart and finish my career with the man I had the most success with. So I'm very anxious to get in there June 24th.
Yeah, I remember you were talking a little bit about that last time you were on in February, just a few weeks before that date. But here is the flyer, guys. I want to put that back up real quickly for anybody that wants to get the information. There it is, West Side Promotions on the 24th, and they'll be streaming this one live this time from
Oh, that's
Yes, they
good.
will.
westside-promotions.com. So if you want to see my man get in there and get his thing going, make sure you go to the website, check it out. Here's some other people on the card here. See Evan Holyfield, who was the son of a legend, Evander Holyfield, and another son of a legend as well on the card, Fernando Vargas Jr. And I do see another local kid here from Stockton, actually, Zachary Sam. I was at
Yeah,
his
he's a good
pro,
kid.
yeah, I was at his pro debut at Cache Creek back in April, and he drew a big crowd, man. They were loud and they were all
Yeah,
pumped
no,
up
he's
for him.
good. I actually just sparred him yesterday, 7 rounds. He's very sharp. Looks
Mm.
like he's on point. Looks good. He's fast. Being for I don't know what weighs he, 128 pounds. That motherfucker's big. He's big. So
He
it's
is,
a
yeah, I noticed that.
great weight for him. Yeah, great weight for him. He looked sharp yesterday sparring, and I'm glad I got the speed look because the guy I'm fighting, he's fought at a lower weight class, I believe like 120 or 126. So I could expect like the same speed, but this kid is fast. He's really fast. He's 22. He's like at the pivotal of the speediest point in your
Yeah.
boxing career. So I'm glad I got to look at his speed. Um, but yeah, I'm very excited. I've known him for many years. We used to train together, and I've seen him come up. He has a little daughter now, so I wish him the best.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
that's
Yeah.
true, man. That's good stuff. You guys getting in some good work. So a little bit about your opponent here in a couple weeks. What do you know about him, and what do you expect?
Well, he's fought for a couple. He's fought Roger Gutierrez, I believe, for a title.
Yeah,
He's fought for a couple minor titles. He has a lot of experience. He has like 15 knockouts out of like 25 wins. So we were originally supposed to fight another opponent, and we just found out about him like maybe like a week and a half ago. So we've been training, we've been in training camp, but we just were having to adjust from one opponent to the other because this guy is more of a boxer. He likes to move. Sometimes he likes to brawl it out. So I don't know what he's gonna come with that night, but we'll be ready. I am expecting him to be a little fast the first couple rounds, being that he fought at a lighter weight. But I figure as soon as I get his timing, as soon as I figure out what he likes to do, what he doesn't, and just create the openings I need to do, I feel like me and my coach Angel can capitalize and hurt him. He has been stopped before, so I know I'm the bigger guy. I just need to be smarter in there and choose my punches wisely and just be able to let him go at the right time.
that's right, man. Now, one more question before I hand it off to my co-host. I watched your last fight in February at the same venue. Somebody was live on your channel, and hey, that was cool, man. I was glad I got a chance to see it. But there was a problem. All right, so I'm going to describe to the fans here that are watching what
Oh
happened. So
God.
basically, what happened was Andy threw a nice counter right hand over his opponent's jab, but it lined up with hitting him behind the ear. He goes down, can't get up, so the referee calls the fight off, and it is officially a no contest. Now, Andy, let us know about that shot and let us know about the process of. I mean, you were trying to appeal that, right? Because the punch obviously wasn't intentional, yet the referee ruled it a
Right,
certain way, right? So go ahead and let
right,
us
right.
know what happened there.
Right, right. I just feel, like Man, I feel like I kind of got screwed over. Respect to the ref, but I feel the ref kind of screwed over my knockout. I threw the punch. He moved his head in that way, that direction. There was no way of me knowing he was gonna move that way. It just happened. It's like if I punch someone and they turn around at the same time, like, yo, it's not my fault.
Right.
But it is what it is. We tried to appeal it, but it made sense. They said due to the fact it was in the first round and the first round wasn't finished, they couldn't determine a winner. They said if it would have happened in the second, third, or fourth round,
Hmm.
any other round, they said for sure we could have overruled it because we could have seen, all right, Andy won the first round. It happened in the second, so we can overrule it and give it to Andy. But since the first round had not come to a finish, that's why they weren't able to appeal it and overrule it.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
tough, man. But I've been waiting. I've been checking on you on Instagram and stuff to see when you were going to announce your next fight, and then I was kind of setting it up with Emily behind the scenes to get you back on. Shout out to Emily, she's great. But yeah, I'm glad you're here, man, and glad that you're moving on from that because that is tough to deal with, man. So Dave, go ahead, man.
I just wonder, Andy, when something like that, like you said, you felt like the ref screwed everything up for you, and here you are trying to steamroll back your career.
Yeah.
How do you take that and still continue to be motivated? Or did your wife have to help you through these motions to get you back on your feet? Or do you just take it on the chin and go, you know what? Shit happens in boxing. I've been in boxing for a decade. I should be used to this. I'm just gonna keep moving forward.
You know what? I would say my wife plays a big role. I would say she's the person that I vent to, like about my problems, about my issues. Like even when I'm confused, even when I was in the midst of like walking away from boxing, I was like, "Hey, babe, like I really feel like doing this. Like what do you think?" And like she would sit me down and say, "Hey, like as a wife, I just want to let you know, like whatever you want to do, I'll do it. Like I'm always gonna be there for you. Like." 100%. But honestly, I was pretty bummed out after this fight. I was just like, damn, babe, like I didn't go forward. I didn't go backwards. Like I'm stuck. Like I feel like I'm stuck again. Um, and yeah, it's always been one thing or another. But even leading up to this fight, I was like, hey, babe, like I gotta win this fight. Like I have to
Right.
win this fight. Like if I want to go forward in life and boxing, like I promise you and I promise me that like I have to win this fight. I just have to. It's just for my mind, for my just for everything all around. But she's with it. We always talk about it. Um, Sometimes I do get a little down at times, even right now when I'm making weight and going through everything I do. I tell her, "Damn, babe, I'm doing all this to get paid this. Like I'm not even there yet. Like this is crazy. Like I just feel like people don't really understand everything the boxer goes through from." It's like I don't know
Right.
why I love it so. I love fighting, but it's like we sign up for peer punishment from training to
Yeah.
fighting to making weight all around it. If you look at it, it's maybe the fighting part is fun, but everything else, yeah, that shit ain't fun. It's just hard work.
Right.
But I guess I don't know, man. It's just I've been in the I've looked at it too. I've been in boxing since 14 years old. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like I have 18 years. Like this is all I know what to do. What am I gonna do after? I don't know. Is the
Right.
end near? For sure the end's near. I'm very realistic with myself, but I'm just taking in the moment, taking in these days, and just focusing on the task ahead. And basically, I'm just taking it day by day, fight by fight. I have realized during training that, like, even like, I gotta, stretch more. I gotta warm up more. Like, my body's 32 now. I'm not 23. Like, at 23, goddamn, like, it's just, it's different now. No, it's different.
Right.
Even sparring little Zachary yesterday, 22. I'm like, damn, that motherfucker's fast. Like, yeah, I'm stronger. Like, I was walking him down. I was able to do what I wanted, but still, I'm like, holy fuck. Like they say, this is a young man's sport. So,
Sport. Right.
That's
I
right.
let my coach yesterday know. I told him, hey man, like I don't know when I'm gonna quit. I don't know when to quit. But if something ever doesn't seem right, just look out for me, bro. Just know I have a family. We sent him a message yesterday. I was just driving home, just thinking about a lot of stuff, and yeah, he told me I got you, bro. Like I got you. But yeah, man, I would say the motivation just comes from just like not wanting to quit, you know, just not wanting to be like, oh, that guy quit. Like he just didn't want to box anymore. He quit. You see all these young kids, all these talented kids that stop boxing because, you know, they had a kid or they got a job and they went to school or something. Like I just want to be that example to people, like to not quit. My overall goal, this is my overall goal. I haven't really shared it, but my overall goal is to fight for a world title.
Hmm.
If I win the world title, when I win the world title, if that happens, if that occurs, great. Everything after that is history. But I at least want to get there so it could be like, damn, like that guy lost. He went through so much, but yeah, he didn't stop. You know, you hear about all these stories all the time, and I guess that's what gets motivated, gets me driven is the mindset just to not quit. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a guy who, you know, um, backs down or just quits because he fails once or twice. Like it's always happened my whole life, my whole amateur career, where, you know, I did fail, but look where I'm at now. I'm a lot farther than before. Every time I look back, I realize like, yeah, I failed maybe once, twice, but I'm a lot farther than I was before. And I know winning this fight will put me in a different position. I
Right.
think I have a lot of fights, and it will really put me in a different position.
You know, I've always said fighters, especially just fighters in particular, you know, being an athlete, but you got to be very extraordinary to do that. You know, and growing up in a, you know, myself being in a fight family and raising my kids as fighters and going to gyms and everything as well. I've always tried to explain this, and I'm pretty sure you can explain this better because you've been in the game for so long and you've been there and you've done that. Uh, but I've heard from other sportsmen and other sports like football or basketball saying that it's lonely up top. But I've always felt that boxing is one of the most loneliest sports. Do you agree with that? That you don't even have to be on the top, but it's very lonely to be a fighter.
Yeah, I would say that's why I'm glad I have a wife, because I have someone to talk to, someone to express my feelings. But for sure, it's lonely. You know, there's the highs and the lows. At some point in my career, I was at the top. You know, I was 23-0. Everyone's around you. It's not lonely. And then I've seen the lows of the lows, like as of now, where it's like it's lonely. That's why I'm very vocal, like on my social media, and I let people know, like even when I repost things on Instagram now, I've learned in my career, like I don't just repost. When people tag me, I'm very mindful of like who tagged me.
Hmm.
Have they been fucking with me and supporting me since then? And if they haven't, I'll just like their post, but I won't repost it. And it sounds like a dick, but I'm very mindful of like who's been through the ups and downs, not just trying to ride when it's up.
Right.
Um, I'm very, very mindful of that, and I don't feel bad to do things like that. But I only repost the posts from people who have been supporting through the ups and downs. A lot of people, they'll see I'm fighting, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna tag him. He's fighting," just because they want to get their profile on my page. And I'm like, nah, nah, not anymore, not anymore. It doesn't
Right.
work like that. If you've been supporting me and you're rocking with me, I'll share your shit all day. But if not, it's just, you know. But you're right; it's a very lonely sport. I think I've seen both worlds already, the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows, and my circle's really small compared to when I was 23-0. It's ridiculous. So I'm actually happy in a way that the people that are in my circle are the ones that matter. So
Right.
um, that's all the who should be here. So um, I'm gonna keep it closed for a reason, just because I've noticed, yeah, people just look for opportunities to just get something or come in. So I just gotta keep
Yeah.
that tight. Yeah, it's
Great.
just like that. It's just, yeah,
It sucks. It sucks. You know,
it does.
I always reminds me of Sergio Martinez saying that when I won the world title, I had
There
over
you go.
100 missed calls, and when
Yep.
I
And then
lost, it's
one
only
missed
his
call from his
mother.
mom.
Mom, man.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey,
Yeah,
see what I
bro.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Yep.
crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
it
It's
is,
crazy.
man.
Um,
So, so did at age 14 you got into boxing? Was it because I know you were training at the San Jose Pal? Is that how you got introduced to boxing, or was this you know, a family member that took you down and saw potential in
my
you?
dad, he took me down. He looked up the gym, but I got introduced by boxing because we would have the family gatherings and watch Oscar De La Hoya versus
Mm,
fucking Tito
Yep.
Trinidad, and like, but I didn't know boxing was an actual sport. I didn't know you could do box. I didn't know anything. I just told my dad I want to try boxing. I didn't even know you could do it. And then he told me he was gonna look at a local gym, but he told me if I don't see improvement in a month, I'm gonna take you out because you don't play boxing. And then ever since I joined, I just he just saw the dedication. And I would always cry when he didn't take me to practice. So he was like, "Damn, like this guy really wants to do it." And
Was
ever since,
Candy still working that program when you
yeah,
went there, or was it?
yeah.
Okay,
Candy was my coach all the way from 14,
yeah.
my whole life, and then Martin Nunez took over when I turned pro. But I was still training at PAL with Candy. Candy's still there, still training people.
I started
Um,
with Candy too.
yeah, Candy's
Back in the
amazing.
days,
He's
yeah,
still there.
yeah,
He's still there. Yeah.
yeah. Because there was only three boxing gyms. You know, I'm see, I'm 50. You know, at the time, and Pal, it was Pal, Starlight, and the Garden, and then later, you know, those kind of disappeared, and then there was only the Pal, and there was a USA Boxing in Milpitas, and then Dreamland was the only
Yes.
boxing gyms available at that time. Have
Yeah.
did you ever spar Dreamland? Did you ever
Yeah. I
go over
spar a lot of guys from there. They hate me there.
there?
Nah, they do. They do. They don't
Yeah.
like me. Nah, the coach doesn't like me there. Like, yeah, they just, yeah.
How was
That's
your
Yeah.
funny how that
experience in
happens.
Hollister, man? How did you like going down to that little town? I call it a hell town, but yeah.
It was a good experience, but it was a bad experience. It was a good experience because I would say the good was just learning different stuff. That was the good. Learning different stuff because in boxing, it's just good to see it, good to know it, good to practice it, whether you're gonna use it or not. I learned so much there. It's just, I feel that was the good part. As far as everything else, it was just bad. You know, I went with a coach who didn't have any professional boxing
Right.
experience, didn't know how to devise like a strategic game plan. A new coach, what can I say? New coach. If anything, I was
Right.
passing on the experience to him, allowing him to corner me in these pro fights on a pay-per-view card. And I feel it was my biggest mistake. But like I said, the biggest things that I took from that was, you know, I always remained disciplined. It didn't matter who I was with. And I was just more grateful coming back to Angel. Before I left, we would always bump heads a lot, always argue. We would always bicker. At the time, I had a full-time job, and he would tell me like, "Hey, man, you gotta sleep." And I would tell him like, "Dude, I'm off at 2 in the morning. I can't. Like, what do you want me to do? I got bills." Now I work for myself. I do train people and whatnot, out of my mom's garage that I pay her rent every month. So I'm doing that. So I'm glad that's under control as far as like taking care of bills and being able to sleep normally and have a normal schedule and like do all that. But but yeah, the Hollister experience was like, it
I
was
was really
more of,
I was really
yeah.
surprised when I saw that. You know, when I saw that you had picked up Charlie, and I was like, because I thought the same way. I was like, you know, I never really heard of him. I
Yeah, man, it
crossed
was bad.
paths with him because my wife is, you know, she's from Hollister, so her brothers know him. Um, but do you think like you just needed to reset yourself? I mean, even though it was that experience, but you needed to reset yourself to remind yourself where you were
And you know
grounded
what? It
at the
wasn't
time.
only that. I think things happen for a reason too. At the time, I had bought a home in Los Baños. Me and my wife were
Mm,
gonna move, so it wouldn't even have worked out being able to come over here anymore because at the time of this transition, I wasn't stable. We weren't, you know, in our home and whatnot. Hollister was like a midpoint to San Jose.
right.
Um, it just happened. Things happen for a reason. It's crazy. Like I just feel like even if I would have stayed here, it wouldn't have been possible for me to like train over here. And like I said, I just feel more comfortable in different areas of boxing just because I learned so much shit. Although I wasn't taught like how to apply it, when to use it. The fact that I was like applying it on the mitts, applying it in sparring, or at least trying it, I feel
Mm,
that was the benefit. But yeah, I wouldn't suggest like any top professional to go there just because of the experience level as far as the expertise in the ring. And I think experience matters a lot. You know, my coach has not only trained myself, he's trained two, three other professionals who were underdogs and guys who were, you know, his son was obviously fighting on top rank cards, and like He's been there. I think a lot matters in the pro level, a strategy, a game plan. What are you gonna
Right.
do?
Yeah.
It's not just about doing all the mitt work and looking fancy. All you need is a 1-2. How are we gonna throw this 1-2 on this guy? Where is he open? And that's what this coach has. That I've never trained with a coach who's been so strategic. And hey, I've noticed he likes to do this. You got to hit this guy on the shoulder when he's trying to do the Mayweather. Don't hit his head. Kill his
Yeah.
arm. Make his arm die. Like it's a strategy. Like I'm like, oh shit. Like I didn't even think of that. Like, so it's amazing. It's tight. Angel's a very
Yeah.
smart man. He's a tough man though, man. The training is not easy. Is um he has two sides of it. I like to call him like tough love. Like he's really tough love. It's just all gas, no brakes. Like I don't
Old
care.
school, huh? He's old school.
Yeah, hey, your shoulder hurts. Guess what? I worked all day and I'm training you, and I'm not complaining about my shoulder. So let's go.
I
But
love that.
nah, but it
Yeah.
checks you to where you're like, holy
Yeah.
shit, he does work on the floor all day, and yet he's over here coming out of his way to hold mitts for me.
Right.
He's not complaining. So yeah, it just it's cool. It's cool to have Angel. I feel like I respect him a lot more now. I feel like before I was just a little immature. I would take him for granted and just always argue. I would just always argue over the eating too. The eating. I'd want to eat whatever I wanted.
We've all
Just
been
got
there, bro, you know.
I still argue about what I want to eat, man.
Right.
Well, you can't eat that. You're a diabetic. I don't care. I'm gonna eat it
Yeah.
anyways, man. But
So Andy, I want
hey,
to ask. Oh,
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 go
go
ahead,
ahead,
bro.
man.
No, no, no. Go ahead, bro. Go.
Okay,
I've been
I
asking.
wanted to ask you about your channel here. We got quite a few people watching live right now. I'm gonna show a little bit here of your channel for everybody, but I feel like all you guys should definitely subscribe to Andy, his channel. He does a lot of videos about the little things in boxing that you don't really hear in here on YouTube. But here, this is a video of you. It says how to check your balance as a boxer, and you're kind of just telling everyone, um, the importance of that. But let us know when it comes to balance. I always talk about this when I make predictions and stuff. But how important is balance in a boxing fight, man?
balance is everything. It's your foundation. It's like a tree. If you don't have your balance and foundation, there's no way you're gonna be able to deliver your shots fast, hard. Um, I plan to release a lot more on that YouTube channel once I'm done boxing. I just can't, I can't say, as far as the business side. And the business side, the reason why I can't talk about the business side is so politics. It's be crazy, but I can't wait. There's just so much footage, so much stuff to go over after I'm done boxing. But it's just a real raw, uncut boxing channel that I created to share things I know. Opinions about fights, the fighters, fight outcomes, what people think and whatnot. And I feel like even if I walk away from boxing, I'll have something to share. So that's why I created that, so that I'll always be involved some way, somehow, to where I can explain something, go over something, give my thought about something, whether someone cares or not. Like I'm a professional boxer, so I'm sure someone will hear me, someone will listen. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I like about it because those are the things that I miss a lot. Spending time in the gym. I had relatives and friends that trained when we were all just either about to end high school or coming into like young adulthood. So it's really cool to see, you and there's a lot of other fighters that do it as well. So I put the link, guys. It's right here in the chat.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Subscribe,
Thank you.
subscribe to Andy's channel, guys. And again, you guys know you come here for the X's and O's. All right. When I break down my fights, I try to get as technical and show footage and things like that. But don't take it from me, take it from this guy. He actually does it in the ring. All right. So all information is great information here. And I feel like a lot of boxing fans, they're not like fans of other sports where they can talk about how, like in the NBA, oh, this guy is good in the half court set, or this team's good running the pick and roll. Like I don't hear a lot of that with boxing. And I feel like channels like that break things down and explain things is very important, man.
Oh yeah, thank you. Nah, yeah, like I said, I created the channel just to grow it and hopefully get it bigger. Get more subscribers. hopefully make some money off the channel eventually. I mean, that'd be my goal. But yeah, just training videos. Later, I want to do workouts. I do have something coming out after my fight. That one was tough. It was a long, long time recording just all the different segments. It was we came up with an idea to do something like it's an idea with my editor that we created 30 days, 30 combos. So day one combination, we do a combination. So it starts simple, and then day two combination, 30 days, 30 combos, day three combination, and so on for 30 days. But the combinations get like so complex. Like they start simple, like, oh, I can do that. Like everyone's gonna be like, oh, I can do that. But by the time they see day 12, they're gonna be like, oh shit, what the hell? Like, damn, that's a lot of stuff. Let me look back to see how it started. So I started it super simple with a lot of straight punches, the first five combinations, and then it starts getting complex. Rolls, step overs, breaks. It's just pretty cool stuff.
That's right, man. And again, guys, subscribe. We already got someone that says that they subscribed in the chat. Now, a few questions here from one from Santeo Media. Good guy here. He says, please ask him who pushed him to start his own business and start training people. Now, you do have a gym in San Jose, right, or around the area?
Hey, what's the name of that person?
His name is Santeo Media.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but you know who pushed me to start? So check this out. Leading up to my fight with John O'Carroll on Triller pay-per-view, um, 3 months into moving into our new home, me and my wife, kind of this dream come true moment, blah blah blah. Like, it's a good moment for us, good chapter in our lives and whatnot. They gave me some paperwork at work and said, "Hey, we're letting you go." The boss says we're letting you go. Like, we gotta let you go. Yeah,
Mm.
this was 3 months into getting my home, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? I live an hour and a half away from the city, like commuting, like my whole plan. Like, damn, how am I gonna train? How am I gonna, like, what am I gonna do? Like, here it is again. I felt like honestly, I felt like back to ground zero. I felt crushed. I never felt such a horrible feeling. And then 30 minutes after they gave me the paperwork, I got offered the fight versus John O'Carroll on Triller pay-per-view. 30 minutes
Mm.
later. It was weird. It was crazy. So obviously I dedicated myself to the fight, and then it kept getting postponed and moved and moved. I was in a little hole as far as fun wise because due to COVID, they kept moving the damn fight. But long story short, I had a friend who asked me, "Hey Andy, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm here in San Jose. I'm about to eat right now at Subway." He goes, "No, I'll go with you." Good friend. His name's Sergio Martinez. I've known him for years since high school. And then we sat down. I was all dressed up in a nice white shirt with a tie, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm applying to jobs, bro. I'm applying to security jobs." He goes, "Bro, like, why are you gonna apply to security job? Like, what the hell?" I was like, "Hey, bro, I need consistent money. Like, what am I supposed to do? I need consistent money. Like, if I don't have consistent money, the bills aren't gonna get paid. Like, bro, I just
Right.
moved to Los Baños. I have a gas expense now." He already knew everything. So he said, "Hey, bro, look at," and then this stuck with me. And I actually just talked with him today because he needed advice or something. I said, "Hey, just remember what you told me." He told me, "Look at you. You're a professional boxer. You know how many people wish, even that are not boxers, but how many people wish they'd be able to learn from someone like you that's been in the
Right.
ring, has been on
Yeah.
TV? Like, why don't you open your own business and charge people like one-on-one sessions?" He goes, "Bro, look at all these fucking trainers at 24-hour fitness that consider themselves boxing coaches, and they don't know shit, bro." He goes, "Just
Yeah.
because they have a license and a nutritional certification, they're
Right.
holding mitts when they don't even know how to hold mitts." He goes, "That's embarrassing, dude. Like, why don't you try it?" And
Right.
then, I came up with an excuse, "Oh, but my schedule, this and this." And he was like, "Look, bro, there's an app that I know of where you make your own schedule and people book on your availability. If they can book, they book. And guess what? If they don't
Nice.
book, they don't book."
Right.
He goes, "Andy," and this is what he told me that I told him today, "Andy, what's the worst that can happen? Try it for 1 month. If it doesn't work, a job's always going to be there, but this won't be there. You'll never know till you try it."
Right.
And that stuck with me, and that stuck with me. And as soon as I made the link and I found a location to rent, now I'm at my mom's, but when I had another spot to rent,
With
I
the
was paying
barbershop, no?
600. Yeah, I was paying 600 a month there, and I just started posting that I was training people one on ones. But if anyone come, I got so busy, and I was like, holy shit! Like I can make a living off. I can still box. I can still follow my dream, and that's another reason what motivates me is, I've figured these ways out to continue going forward. So why would I stop now? I just want to see how far I can make it. But yeah, that's how that whole business started off. Sergio Martinez, thank you, Sergio Martinez. I really appreciate the advice. He's always been a great friend.
Nice.
That's great, bro. I mean, because
And
if it's
that's what
one,
I'm saying. It's who you have around you, right? Like
right,
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate enough to have a good friend to say, hey, like look at yourself, like you're Andy Azino Vences, you're a professional boxer in San Jose, you almost have 30 fights, you're about to be on pay per view. Like, why would you even go to a job? And I'm just
right.
very glad I've always been a risk taker, and I'm always open to listen, if it makes sense. I would say that's one thing I have. I do listen, if it makes sense. And I always
That's a
listen to my gut feeling. So it's
That's
been a good.
that's great, man. That's great. I would definitely love to come down there one day and check you out, man. Check out the gym and everything, and we'll try to
Yeah,
set something up. We
yeah,
have
let me
another
know.
question. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Larry Liston here says, Andy, what did you think of Teofimo's performance last Saturday? Now, here's a picture right here of Andy and Teo. I believe this was at the Mikey Garcia fight, right in Fresno, a few years
Yeah,
back.
yeah. I mean, honestly, look, everyone that's hearing this, I'm a huge fan of Teofimo. People will probably say, "Oh, that fool just rides him or whatever," but I everything about Teofimo, I love the way he fights, the way he carries himself, the way he speaks of himself. He vents himself. He doesn't hold back. That guy looked amazing, and I was really hoping he would show up. Um, Knowing he had two bad performances the last fight, I was praying like, man, bro, I hope you just complete and you show up, you totally separated from the issues. And I'm glad he's dealing with his life now, and he's gonna figure all this out. Will he retire? I think right now he will. He's gonna deal with his life.
Yeah,
But to be honest, I think because of a financial issue, at some point he's gonna have no choice but to box. Why? Because of the money. Um, they only paid him $1 million, and this is what people don't know. Think about it: $1 million. People go, "Oh, that's hella money." You got a manager, you got a trainer, you got taxes. What is he looking about? Let's just say, yeah, 600 grand. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Okay, but how much does a house cost if he even bought one? Now let's just say his
yeah,
baby mama is obviously
Hmm.
going through divorce, child support. That money's gone. That money's going to be gone quick. It's not going to go far. It's just so. Although he wants to retire, I mean, from what I heard before, I was reading the articles that he was kind of hurting. He was broke when he fought the Cambosos fight. They were going everywhere buying stuff, but I'm not sure how he's going to do it. But I hope he just makes the right financial moves, or else he will have to box because there is going to be no other option but to like continue fighting for money, and that's what happens to a lot of boxers, a lot of great boxers from, Mike Tyson, from all the guys. They continue to fight not because they do want to fight, but it's more the financial. Like, damn, like how am
Right.
I gonna live? Mayweather, the reason why he hosts these exhibition bouts, like I know he's made a bunch of financial smart moves, but still, it's just the way he's living
The
that
bills
life,
never
like
stop coming in, man. The
the
bills
never,
way
never
he's
stop coming
living
in.
his
never.
life, the way he's living that life,
Yeah,
that lavish life, like think of it every day, every weekend, every year. It's expensive life. It's
right,
ridiculous, crazy.
right.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, I think he'll end up fighting until he's 60.
Yeah, it could be a thing where
Hey, well, if I'm gonna have an exhibition bout, he's gonna make all these millions. Why would
Why
he
not?
stop?
Yeah, why
Yeah,
stop? Yeah, people are still
yeah,
buying into it.
yep.
exactly.
Why stop, man? Hey, I give you kudos, bro, for sticking it out in San Jose because so many guys have moved. I mean, Bob Santos took off to Vegas. Even Robert took off to Vegas. And what kept you to stay in San Jose?
We bought a home in Los Baños, so
Right.
technically we live there. But my mother has an ADU unit behind her home. It's like a
Okay.
little apartment. So I think that's what saves me and my wife is throughout the week when we're working. That's like my camp house is staying in San Jose.
Gotcha.
But I live in Los Baños. But
Baños.
hey, like I tell people, just like Arrows fans, whatever. Hey, San Jose. I was born in Watsonville, but guess what raised me? San Jose raised me. San
Mm.
Jose raised me. San Jose offered me the opportunity to box. It was everything because of San Jose, because of coming to San Jose. So do I represent San Jose? Fuck, I always tell people, hell yeah, I represent San Jose because San Jose was the city that raised me.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and I'm blessed to have been introduced to San Jose because
Yeah.
that's where the money's at. Hey, there's
That's
one
right,
thing,
man.
and it's as bad as the economy is in San Jose. It feels like it's just another day. Like
Yeah.
it's the same shit. There's on the east side the same shit's going on. It's just moving. It's moving forward. It's moving forward. And I think that's what I love about San Jose.
Right.
San Jose is a Bay Area where it doesn't find excuses for the problem. It adapts to the problem and
Yep.
moves forward, and that's pretty badass.
Yeah,
That's
it's made a
right,
lot.
man.
It's made a lot of changes, man. I mean, my compadre still lives in San Jose, in east side, it's the east side of San Jose, and right there
It's
by
awesome.
Overfeld, by
What
Overfeld,
a classic area to live in.
right? And
Hell yeah.
I still go over there, bro. And as much as I love my compadre, I hate driving to the east side because there's no goddamn parking in the residential area. You got to park like 2, 3 blocks away, around the corner, you know.
Hey,
But
that's because the Mexicans are living five in one house,
yeah,
bro.
hey,
Right.
he got a Filipino family across the street, the Mexican, and it's funny because when you say that, because his neighbors are some Raza too, right? And we're in the backyard, and right when homeboy puts a carne asada, they'll pop their heads over the fence and be like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, you guys want us to bring some beer? Like, come on through." One thing about San Jose, bro, us San Jose people, man, we're very friendly. You know,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. As far as like Mexicanos, we adapt. So the rent's so high. So what do? They rent out the rooms to
yeah,
family members, and they'll
yeah,
figure it out. But what I love about the East Side is the cultural food, the Mexican food.
yep.
From every corner, they got street vendors. They got my favorite place, classic place, Mexico Bakery.
Mhm.
I love that spot. It's just everything Mexican wise. The food is really good. It's
Yeah.
on the East Side.
Do you ever go to El
Um,
Chaparral on Santa Clara?
what's that?
El Chaparral. You ever go there in Santa
In,
Clara?
in Santa Clara, I haven't been there.
Oh, you got to go. That's a landmark, man. Mexican high class
That should be
grocery
on the
store.
list after the fight.
Yeah, go down
There
there,
you
bro.
go.
You know,
First
I know.
first spot to go after the fight.
Yeah, I know you've had to been to the Pink Elephant, right, to get some pan dulce.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That was right by Pal. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. Let me ask you this, because I know you worked out at Undisputed. I know I know you've been with the Guerreros. You've went out there and worked out with them. I'm assuming you've worked out with Max Garcia, sparred out there in Salinas.
Oh
right?
yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and because Northern California is not known as a boxing city. It's more
Correct.
like an MMA.
Correct.
And I know like more people from Southern California, when you mention a fighter from Northern California, they always give you that look like, he's probably not going to be very good because they I
For sure.
give them that they support their fighters way better than we do.
For sure.
You've
Hell
been
yeah.
at an MMA guy, right?
Right.
But let me ask you this, man. Out of those gyms I just mentioned, I've been to all of them, and I've witnessed the sparring. I was there with Mike Dallas, was at with Max and them, and Perez was with them. Undisputed, Conte's gym. And there was a lot of Southern Cal, all over the world guys were going to Conte's, gym, Undisputed.
Yeah, I'm still with Conte. I'm sponsored by him. I work with him.
Great.
Yeah. Got it.
Out of all those gyms, which one would you say, like, was it the Guerreros or was it Max or was it Conte's gym? Were very tough sparring, or were they all equal?
No, I will take Conte's gym was the gym where he was bringing in guys all over the world from
Right.
Demetrius Andre, he's even had Daniel Jacobs, Triple G. Like I would say that was the gym where you were seeing it all as far as like all the world class levels. Like that was the gym where
Right.
you were seeing all these guys come in.
Yeah, so many guys were going in. Kirtland, Haney
Oh
was
yeah,
there.
yeah, way
I mean,
back in the
God,
day.
bro, it
Yeah,
was so many guys
yeah,
that
he
were
had
going there.
everyone. Andre Berto, Nonito
Yep.
Donaire. It was just yeah.
Andre
So
Ward.
I would say Conti just because
Yeah.
he had the obviously the financial ability to just pull in people from wherever he wanted all over. So that was pretty cool.
Did you ever
Um,
feel at any point of your career, though, when you were on the come up at 23, 24, that you were doing more sparring than actual getting the fights on your record?
more sparring than what?
Like, do you feel like you were getting more sparring, like they were using you more for sparring rather than getting you fights while you were with
No,
Top Rank
no,
at
I
the
was
time?
pretty active. I was super
Mhm.
active on the come up from Jesus from when I was 1-0 all the way to like 23-0. It's been nonstop fighting. Every 4 months max. So I was having to spar a lot because I was always fighting. Um,
Gotcha.
it's a sport where you never stop learning. But no. I was getting a lot of fights. I would say recently. Well, I fought in February. I don't really count the one in February, but I would say when Hollister's where it got stuck, I wasn't getting nothing. Like I was
Really?
sparring, but I wasn't getting no fights, no anything, no nothing. And I think it had a lot to do with the person I was with and whatnot, as far as connection wise. Um, Angel is a very connected individual in Northern California. He's a known coach in
Right.
Northern California. Like people contact him for sparring. He hits up people for sparring. So I would say that's where it died out. It was like I was sparring so much, training so much, and yet nothing was on the come up. But as soon as I came over here to Angel, boom, I'm fighting on this West Side Front. Boom, I'm fighting on this one. And like, yeah, it's been different.
Who made you think the most of all the guys you've sparred, man? Like, what was the one guy that made you think the most in the ring when you guys were trading gloves?
That's a good question. Who made me think the most? Damn, that's a good question. I would say early on in my career, you know who it was when I was in the ring with Nonito Donaire, as
Mm,
well as when I was what was I 22-0? I believe I was 22-0. Devin Haney always had me thinking when I sparred him at Victor Conte's gym. Devin Haney had me thinking. Um, other than that, it was pretty good sparring. Uh, the
who,
sparring with
who,
Devin Haney was when he was a lot younger.
right.
Uh, a lot younger, but but it was really good. He was, he's really sharp, really good.
Who did you get in there with? Let me ask you this: who did you get in there with where you thought, shit, this one's gonna be tough, but then you walked away going like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
I think with Devin Haney,
Really?
Mm.
yeah, with Devin Haney, I was like, oh shit, like this guy's fights at 135, I fight at 130, like, and then they had three guys lined up, so I was like, okay, like I'm the smallest guy. I was like, hey Bill, who did you want to go first? So I'll be last, and he goes, nah, we want you first. I was like, yeah. So I was like, what? Like I'm the smaller guy, but they want me first, and I obviously because I'm good, right? So they want to see what's up. So then I got in there. So I did really good. The sparring who won, no one won. I would say it was back forth. I went
Right.
on him the first round. He came on me in the second, and then I came back in the fourth. But the next two, three guys that went in the ring with Devin Haney, they all got dropped.
Mm.
So it
Man.
was there.
Yeah.
I gave myself a pat on the
That was a
back. I was
boosted,
like, "Yeah,
yeah.
bro, at least you didn't get dropped." But
Yeah.
then, like, Devin Haney was sharp, very sharp shooter. And I
Yeah.
knew that at the time. It was right after my fight, so I was super sharp too. And I was just very, very aware because he's a very sharp boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah, very
let me
very
ask
sound
you.
defensively too. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Right. Definitely. I was gonna say, who was the one guy you never got a shot to get in the ring and spar with? Like, who was one guy that you were looking and hoping you were going to be able to get in the ring?
Oh, that's a good question. I gotta think back. Oh, I don't know. I would have to think back to see who was available that I was trying to get in there with. Man, that's a good one. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But
How about career wise? You know, sitting back with the family, and you're like, man, I need to get a shot at that guy. You know, if I got a shot with that guy, I know I could take this. You know, take
you
the
don't
win.
want to be honest. Sitting back, career wise, who I wanted for a very long time, who I wanted was I just won because I was like, man, that'd be a badass fight. We got in the ring together. Was I mean, he's my boy, but I wanted to share the ring with him. Was Oscar Valdez.
Mm.
I really wanted a shot with Oscar Valdez bad. And then
Yeah.
the other one I want a shot with currently, just because I'm like, man, like I would love to fight that guy. Is Chris Colbert. I would
Oh,
Oh,
Chris, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to fight Chris Colbert. Like that was even presented to me at a time where I signed the contract or whatever, but they didn't pick me to fight me. But that was another fight too, where I was like, man, like I want to fight that fight. Like I don't know why. Uh,
it'd be a good fight. You know,
That
he
was,
had a tough fight with El Rayo in his last fight. A lot of
yeah,
people felt
he's
like he
moving
got a good
back down.
decision.
He's moving back down in weight. That's why I'm like, man, like he's moving to 130 because I guess he doesn't want to do the rematch or fight at 135. But yeah, I was like, man, I would love to fight that guy. Like, cause he's good, but
Oh, we lost him. There he
oh,
goes.
dude,
He's back. Can you
yeah,
hear us?
I would love to fight. I would love to fight him just because he's really good, and I just think it'd be a great fight. I always wanted to fight him.
Yeah, no, that would be a great matchup, man. I feel and you know, hey, I want to thank you for coming on, man. I know you're driving. I know you got a lot of stuff going on right now. You're in the middle of
yeah.
training camp. Almost time to cut those last little few pounds that are the hardest to get off for you guys. I know how that is, man. I've seen some of my boys deal with that, you know.
Yeah, I got a lot left. I was right here down the street from the gym. I had parked nearby, but nah, yeah, the weight cut's always something. It's something else. It's something that's like I would say that's the first part of the fight is making weight, and then the next fight is the other fight. But yeah, making weight's no joke. People don't understand. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, something else.
And that's why you guys should subscribe to Andy's channel, right? I'm sure he's talked about that before and things like that. So you'll know how it is and you'll stop, messing with these fighters when they miss weight, man, because it really is a difficult thing to do.
Nah, yeah, I feel the fighters that have missed weight, it's not because they meant to. It's just their body couldn't react, or you know what I mean. It's just there's different variables.
Yep, very much so, man. So hey, good luck, man. Again, follow my guy. I believe it's El Tiburon, right? My short-term memory is really not that good. Let me see. El Tiburon Vences one on Instagram, guys. Follow
Yeah,
him there.
Follow
You
him.
guys, I put the link to his channel in the chat, so make sure you subscribe there as well. And hey, man, good luck on the 24th. And like I said, I'll talk to you behind the scenes, man, to see if I can get down there to your gym and check you out one time, man.
Hey, man,
yeah,
and
sounds
thanks,
good.
thanks for making San Ho proud, brother. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I
All
really
right,
appreciate it.
have a good one, bro. We'll see you on the 24th.
Okay, bro.
All right, guys, let's give him a hand. Andy Tiburon.
Tiburon.
Vences, yeah, man, good stuff. So he talked a little bit. I want to talk a little bit here about Teofimo as well. We had a question from the chat about how Andy felt Teofimo looked, but let me get your thoughts, Dave. Well, what did you think of Teofimo on Saturday?
I thought he looked phenomenal. I was really surprised how many people were writing the kid off, and
Yep.
we talked about it, behind the scenes, and I spoke to a few other guys that I always talk to that will call me up, and they like to place bets, and when like I had told you, I think people are dismissing the skills that the kid, carries, and the other thing is that what a fighter says, those don't win the fights. It's their game plan
Right.
that win the fight, And I had told you, I don't know if you remember when I was talking about it, I said, because you had called me, you were asking me about it, and I said, to me, in my opinion, it's very hard for a champion that's fighting to get paid to get up early in the morning after being undisputed right? And feeling
Yeah.
that he's on top of the hill to fight somebody he doesn't want to fight. And the George Kambosos fight, I saw that postponement after postponement, postponement, and then being told he's going to get paid this much, and then it got shaved down for, didn't ended up on Trilla. All these reasons, right? I was like, I don't think he wasn't mentally there prepared for him, because I don't think he took Kambosos very serious. And then the other fights that happened, I thought the same thing. I didn't think he took him very serious, and I had told you, if he can't get up for Josh Taylor, there's nothing that can get him up. And I wasn't expecting him to lay down. I thought I was going to see a great performance, not a phenomenal performance that we saw on Saturday night, because you got to admit, it was phenomenal what he did.
Indeed it was, man. And you're right. A lot of people wrote him off, and they just didn't do their homework on the matchup, man. You guys have to.
Right.
I mean, we all say this. I hear everyone in the community say this. Styles make fights. Yet, for some reason, they ignored that in this fight. Like, I mean, I was trying to tell you guys that Teofimo has a huge advantage in hand speed. His defense is much better. His reflexes, his timing, the athletic ability, all favored him. Now, you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys who are here live saw my film breakdown that I did for that fight. And I showed you guys a lot of sequences from the Sandor Martin fight about how he was still able to catch and shoot a lot of punches from a guy who doesn't really give you a whole lot. Now, I was very confident in my pick, but when I seen this interview here, now I want to share my screen real quick. And I just want to play a quick portion of this interview that I saw with Bob Arum. So first thing I want to do is give some credit to the Mandatory TKO. That's the name of the channel that did this. This is not my interview, guys, but this was an interview with Bob Arum. They were asked about if Lopez loses, but he said some things here, man. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna move it forward just a little bit. And I want you guys to listen to what Arum said about what Teofimo looked like in training camp. So let's check this out real quick.
Welterweights ever. And so if he loses, but he performs well, you don't write him off. If he goes in there and doesn't perform well, then you have a lot of questions.
Yeah, absolutely. We're hearing some good things from the gym, that it has been, he's looked very good. Is that the same report you've been hearing as well?
Yeah, well, we had Derek Harmon. They sent him down to Florida to make sure everything was going well, and his reports back to me were all very excited. He was very, and he was a top light heavyweight. So he could judge. He thought Teofimo was great in the gym, sparring with good guys, and really serious and working hard.
You see that, guys? When I heard Arum say that, I was like, okay, I'm not only am I confident, I'm supremely confident. Because again, this is not just your normal YouTube channel that's going to come on with a headline like, man, is Teofimo crazy? Is he mentally broken? Is he is his mind somewhere else? Like all these catchy titles. Like, that was a great interview done there by the Mandatory TKO. So shout out to them, man, and subscribe to them as well. That video there, that interview, last time I checked, yeah, it's got 10,000 views. Yet the channel only has 600 subs. That's awful, guys. Do me a favor and subscribe to that channel, okay? They conduct good interviews over there. And again, that's the real type of stuff you want to know. How the guy looks in camp, not about what he's saying in the media. Like, to me, that's just lazy. That's just flat out lazy. And
there's real.
Go ahead.
And there's real mental issues with some fighters. We've seen it in the past, Oliver McCall, but there's also something in line with that: drug abuse, alcohol abuse. So it's really rare that you see it before. It kind of gets exposed. Well, it happens, it unfolds in the ring, or it happens under an arrest or something like that. But when you have a guy that's like saying these outlandish stuff, I want to kill you in the ring, or I want to do that. The reason I didn't jump on that trend, that trend, is because, if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you've been in the sport for so long, you're kind of, numbified to that. You're used to that,
Yeah.
To me, that's just a guy trying to sell a fight. I remember really clearly when everybody was saying Mike Tyson was crazy, but I was like, is Mike Tyson really crazy? Or he was a guy that saw that his skills it was eroded. He wasn't the same guy anymore. He had to sell the fight another way because he just didn't seem to know how to put it all together. He couldn't pass 3 rounds anymore. So he had to do something that attract media to put him on headlines.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you look at him now, how calm is he? How much different? Yeah, was he going through stuff mentally? Absolutely. Stressed out because he owed IRS a shitload of money. He was broke. There was vultures that surrounded him. That's something different. With Teofimo Lopez and his dad, which, I know a lot of people don't like his dad. They say a lot of stuff about his father. Same thing, like Danny Garcia's dad, Angel Garcia. But I think what people are missing about like the Teofimo Sr. and even Angel is that you have 2 grown child men. And that's not a bad thing, because some men mature different than later than others. And to me, Teofimo Lopez Sr. is a guy that dedicated his life. And we talked about this with Andy a little while ago about how lonely the sport is. Well, trainers too. You dedicate your life to your son. When I was training my son, and it was my son who made the decision he wanted to stop fighting at the age of 14, 15. Bro, I mean, that's all I had was I went to work. I did either an 8, 10, 12-hour shift, came home, took a shower, got something to eat, got my kids ready, put them in the car, and we drove to the gym. And we didn't leave until they turned off the lights.
Yeah.
So a father/trainer also lives a very lonely life. And then, so when their son makes it, it's almost like they made it as well, and they don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you give a guy wins a lot of money for a lotto ticket for a lot of money. The large percentage of them blow through that money in 3 to 4 years. They don't know how to act. It's the same thing.
Exactly. And here I'm showing, this is a video I made, guys, after the Campa fight. A lot of people questioning them. For me, I didn't really understand it. I felt like he looked pretty damn good against a guy who's naturally bigger, a pressure volume puncher. And I took specific sequences from that fight where Campa had him in position to really do some damage. And you can see here, Teofimo making him miss, making him pay, getting out of the way. I mean, some of the things I was hearing after this fight, I could not believe what I was hearing. I'm like, did you guys watch the fight, or did you just want to come on and bash the kid? Like it was really, really bad. Like it's hard for me to criticize a fighter when he wins every round of the fight and then knocks the guy out or gets the stoppage. I just didn't understand it, man.
Well, I know the fight before that, he just didn't look like the Teal.
That was the Kambosos fight.
Right. That, we were used to seeing. And even after that, moving up in weight, I think myself, I'm guilty of it. Wasn't sure what did his power carry up there. Was his head on completely 100% in boxing? He had outside distractions. So, yeah, I think it's fair for somebody to look at those things and go, I don't know. I don't think he could win the Josh Taylor fight. I think that's what, I think a percentage of people that were picking Josh Taylor was looking at those aftermath fights that he had, rightfully so. But to completely count him out, the people that were completely counting him out because of things that he said about ESPN being biased for just black fighters, or I want to kill this guy, or, I sometimes a part of me just wants to die in there. Fernando Vargas said that. I want to die in the ring.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too. Yeah.
Nobody got into like, oh shit, this guy's crazy. Nobody did that. I just think we live in a generation now. This generation is they're more into clickbaiting, gossip headlines than anything else.
And that's why I choose to ignore these sort of things what fighters say, because they say a lot of things, and of course into a build up into a fight they might say some crazy stuff to sell the fight. But here I'm showing sequences against a guy in Martin who, again, doesn't give you a whole lot. He's a southpaw. He's a move first, defensive first guy. Doesn't really engage a whole lot. Yet Teal was able to land good punches to the body, and you'll see right here, the one little time he does become aggressive, look, Teal makes him miss and makes him pay. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, all the things he's saying, yes, they sound crazy. Yet it never seems to affect his performance, at least in my eyes. And again, here's another beautiful sequence where we see him catching shots, multiple shots, and then boom, countering on the way on Martin before he's able to get out of there. So yeah, it was just one of those things, man, where, and again, I want to give some shout out to Fouts Boxing. He noted that as well about the hand speed and the ability to catch and counter. And also James Gogi, who I listen to regularly over on Warwick Radio, who actually is he's from Sacramento. He did a lot of work here at the Washington Center. He was a part of Tony the Tiger Lopez's camp back in the 80s.
Yeah.
He co-signed exactly what I was saying with the fight, that Lopez's superior speed, defense, reflexes, athletic
IQ.
ability, yeah, and his ability to change up attacks when he has to, and that attributes to the athletic ability as well. So again, guys, I'm gonna just tell you guys, you subscribers that are here listening right now, please just look at the film.
Again,
I'm
styles
telling you,
make fights. Yeah.
yeah, 98% of the time, the film is not gonna lie to you. Watch the film and go from there, man. Don't go off. And again, here's more athletic ability. We see him leaping in with the left hook and the right hand. Yeah, just a phenomenal performance from Teofimo.
Right.
Real quickly before we wrap this up, Dave, I want to ask you, that he announced his retirement after this fight, and then he doubled down on it on Max Unboxing. I believe it was yesterday. What are your thoughts, man? Is he retired, or is he just playing the game here to make some money?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he is. I think this is a tactic that he's using that a lot of fighters in the past have used, by saying, "Hey, I'm leaving. Unless you offer me more money to stay. What's the purpose of me staying for nickels and dimes? $1 million is a nickel and dime to anybody else." But like Andy, who we just had on, mentioned, after you have to pay this and pay that and pay this person and pay these bills, $1 million isn't really much.
Right.
This guy's going through a divorce. That after being undisputed after Lomachenko, I think he's expressed it. I want to get paid more. I'm the unified champ. I should get paid more. He moved up in weight because he said he couldn't make the weight, and he also said, there's bigger fights in the heavier division where he's here. I think now with this fight against Taylor, I think this is the time for Bob and them to say, okay, let's give the kid some bigger paydays. Other fighters out there that are going to be willing to, now step in with him. That's the other task, is off of that performance looking that good, who wants to be available for him and risk it, put it on the line, but money talks, man. Money definitely talks. So
definitely,
if he does retire, I mean, guy undisputed twice.
Yeah. And I seen Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, who's the owner and promoter over there at Golden Boy Promotions, tweeted out saying, I made phone calls to Don King and Bob. Like, who do you want to see next? I'm gonna assume he's referring to Ryan Garcia. Right. I mean, a Teofimo versus Ryan Garcia fight I think that would be a big fight. I really do. Two Latino fighters. That's one. We know that the Latino community, they definitely support the sport. We see that with
do you want to see that
Alvarez.
Though next though? Let me ask you that with Ryan Garcia. Would you want to see Teofimo? I mean, no, I know it makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense
financially for Lopez. It makes sense, but Yeah.
But
What
for
I
Ryan's
want,
career, for Ryan's Garcia's career,
no, because I think he gets wrecked.
yeah. But also, I think it's hard to sell. I think it's going to be a hard sell, to tell you the truth, to the public, to the casual public, because here he got stopped on a body shop against Tank Davis, and Teofimo comes off of a great, spectacular decision win over Josh Taylor. If I was, I don't know, what I used to see back in the 80s and the 90s was if a guy lost in that fashion, you bring him back with a durable name and see what he does with that to get him back into the grace of the fans. To make them go like, start licking their chops like, okay, yeah, that next fight might be worth it.
Yeah.
We do know there is trouble in the others in Paradise and Golden Boy between Ryan Garcia and Oscar though right now. So maybe Oscar is like, look, I need to serve him up, get as much money as I can out of this kid, and get him out of my hair.
We'll see, man. I feel like they should do the same with Jaime Munguia. It's time. He hasn't shown a lot of improvement. He's kind of stayed the same, which is fine.
Right.
I mean, because that fight with Derevyanchenko was fantastic.
It was
a
great.
hell of a fight, man. Yeah, and
oh yeah,
El Cheeto in the chest. Pobrecito
Ryan. I know, man. Jesus Christ.
But hey, man, he's marketable. So I think Dave's right. Get him back in there with a tune-up. Let him knock this guy out. Maybe two guys this year.
Marcito. Give him Marcito. Marcito,
Yeah.
I guess that just came
got
off
momentum.
a good win. Yeah, he's got momentum. Get him back in there with her. I could see Adrian Broner.
Yeah, I could see that too, because
why not?
He would beat Broner. He would beat him at this point. So, yeah, we'll see.
And Broner would take it. Broner would more likely take that fight than he would against a Regis Progress, who's actually like practically begging for this fight on Twitter.
Is that
right?
not weird or what, man?
It's
like, I don't
weird.
understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. He's the way he's tweeting is as if everybody's been clamoring and asking for a Broner Progress fight. But in all reality, we're asking you to fight anybody in the top 5, man.
And then you go to Matchroom where no one's there. So ever since you've been signed to Matchroom, all you've been doing is calling out guys with Don King, with Golden Boy, with Top Rank. Like, it just doesn't make much sense, man. We know, look, and the argument is, well, any fight can be made. Yes, we understand that. But why don't they get made? That's the real question.
Yeah.
You got to ask yourself, okay? And that's for another show. But hey, Dave, man, appreciate you showing up, man. I know you just got off work and everything, man. And this was great, man. Doing the interview with Andy and talking a little bit here about Teofimo. So, guys, my man just dropped another video on his channel. It was a clip from the interview we did with Joel Diaz talking about Shane Mosley. There was another video you did with is that still up, right? The one with Tommy Hearns sparring?
The Joel De La Hoya interview that we did, I put up with that. I included the Balco interview and the interview that myself and Montoya did with Shane Mosley talking about strength and conditioning coach and him admitting that he looked like shit against Oscar De La Hoya in the rematch. But yeah, the Tommy Hearns sparring at the Crunk back in the 80s, I put that up. And I got a bunch of I got hours and hours of Crunk gym sparring,
guys.
Whoever tried to get it taken down, F you. That's all I gotta say, man.
Right.
Cabrones, fucking haters and shit,
Yeah, watch that sparring session, guys. And again, that's why you need to subscribe to Leave It in the Ring here on YouTube and follow him as well on Twitter and all that good stuff, man. So Dave, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Brother. Welcome.
Franco H, man, you showed up. We're about to wrap it up, but go ahead and play it back. We did an interview with Andy Vences. He's got a fight coming up. So yeah, check it out, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Dave and I were working on a project too. We're gonna get that out there and make sure that you definitely want to see this one. It's gonna be fantastic. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. We're out.